You don't know what God is making while you're aching. You don't know what God is making while you're aching. You don't know what God is making while you're crying. You don't know what God is making while you're lonely. You don't know what God is making while you're suffering. But I declare unto you, He is making something. You may feel dislocated. You may feel dislodged. You can't always see what the Master's doing. Only when we look back, then we see that God had a plan when all we had was pain.
God loves you right where you at. All of you, you're in the process right now. You're in the process of becoming what God wants you to be. See, the reason you wake up every day is because God ain't through with you yet. Because He still has something for you that you've yet to receive. But you have to start living your life in expectation. You have got to start expecting great things to happen for you in order for it to happen. It is the law of attraction. It is real. It is nothing fake about it. A man is as he thinketh. If you live your life in expectations, that's what happens to you. If you live your life in despair, that's what happens to you. If you say all men are dogs, you're going to meet every last one of them. I'll never be rich. You won't. You won't.
Now, my approach to my better future very early on in my career was to just go through the day with my fingers crossed. I sure hope things will change for the better. Then here's what I found out. They're not going to change. When you change, when you get better, it'll get better. Don't put it on someone else.
If you're going to really have an incredible life, you need to add a step. After acceptance is you must create anew. That's what this whole program's about. It's a new world. It's not just a new year. It's a new world that's going to require a new you and me. We got to find a bigger and better part of ourselves, so no matter how big the challenge is, we know that who we are is more than anything that can be done to us. And we know we can find the way. But that means you got to create anew. And so in order to create anew, you got to let go of what was. And I just want all of you to know, I don't believe in this term new normal. There is no normal. The world is always going through cycles. And we're in the middle of winter, but people, when things are going well, people think it's going to be great forever. And it never is. Life is cyclical. It's seasonal, right? So if you have springtime and then you got summer, hot summer, spring's great, it's growing, hot summer, you kind of get tested, then the fall you reap, and then you go to winter. Like what always follows winter? Springtime.
Some people can't handle your success. They were fine as long as you were at their level, as long as you were single like them, as long as you lived in their neighborhood. You have to be okay with them not being okay with you. Your time is too valuable to worry about what people think about you. You don't need everyone to celebrate you. You don't need all your coworkers, all your relatives to cheer you on. If you become too dependent on people, then if they don't meet your expectations, if they don't approve you, you'll spend your time trying to get their approval. Don't look to people, look to God.
They don't print opportunities. You can lose money and get it back. You can't get time back. You can't get experiences back. Average people focus on money. The greats focus on time because I can't get my time back.
Some stuff takes time. Greatness takes time. It takes time. You got to be prepared to get 1,000 no's to get one yes. The thing you need to win is resilience. You can't just keep trying different stuff, because you can never say something didn't work when you didn't have tried. Be resilient. Pick it out. Winter, spring, summer, fall. Resilient. Some people have never thrown their whole self at nothing. Not at school, not at work. You've had one foot in and one foot out of every dream all of your life, and you've never seen what you could be if you ever really connected and threw everything.
Come on. You want to live your life from now on with courage. Courage is the willingness to do what it is you need to do in spite of the fear. Most people in a fearful situation, they forget everything and run, but there are few that they face everything and rise. You're here to do something. You've got to live life like you mean it. When you live like a warrior, you honor your commitment. But you don't want to be reckless. You don't want to die for a job. You have other options. Don't be limited in your thinking. I want you to have the mindset that you're going to work on yourself. I want you to have the mindset that you're going to live an expanded vision of yourself. When you get up in the morning, decide to live a courageous life. This life is to be lived. Life is for living, for being productive.
As you don't surrender, as long as you don't give up, then you haven't failed. If you get beat, unless you're dead, you are not defeated, and you have not failed. What you've done is you've learned. So get up and go get after it.
You don't have control of the constellations. Learn some new skills. You have control over that. And if you don't, that's your fault. You've got to take personal responsibility. You've got to be self-reliant. Nobody else can change your life, alter your ambitions, pave a golden road for you. It's up to you. Be responsible for yourself. Learn to reap the harvest without complaint. Take full responsibility for everything you do. Be responsible to yourself. It's your crop.
Possibilities are always surrounded by challenges. You got to get through the challenges to get to the possibilities, but it's worth it. It's kind of like a Tootsie Roll. You got to get through the hard stuff so you can get to the good soft stuff. That's the way it is with life. That's the way it is with possibilities.
Keep your damn mouth shut. Just shut up. Don't say nothing. It's best don't say nothing. How many times has God showed you something in your imagination, and then you took it in there to your family and your friends, and you shared it with them, and they shot it down? Stop telling your visions to other people, because they're not going to see it. Why you keep imagining graduating, getting a better job? Why do you keep imagining buying a house? Why do you keep imagining getting rich one day? Why do you keep imagining that? Because God is talking to you. He created you, and then he even showed you what he got for you. You got to start believing in your imagination. Faith without works is dead. So now you got to put in work. Haven't you imagined a better life? But if you don't work, if you don't ask him for it, he cannot give it to you, because he created us with the power of choice. If you decide that you will be poor, there's nothing I can do. You're going to be poor. If you decide to be rich today, who going to stop you? If you decide you want to be rich, all you got to do is start. Who going to stop you? Unless you tell it to the wrong person.
Don't worry about your circumstances. Don't worry about your age. Have a friend who's up in age, over 70, and she wanted to build a multi-million-dollar complex. Lenders and bankers say, you can't do that, you're too old. She ignored them. That building now stands, ladies and gentlemen, a multi-million-dollar structure. But there are a lot of people who would have listened to that, because they've already said no to themselves. See, it's time now. If you want to make this your decade, you've got to start saying yes to your life, yes to your potential.
God is in the turn it around business. God did all that for me. So I'm telling you right now, if God can fix Steve Harvey, I bet he can turn you into that.
When you know within yourself that there's something you want to do, and I believe that all of us were born with a purpose, that all of us have something that we are supposed to do, that all of us have some goodness within us, and that goodness gives us a responsibility to manifest our greatness. And when you know that, you can feel it in your guts, and you know that you're deliberately operating below your potential, you've gotten comfortable, you stop expanding, you stop stretching, you stop challenging yourself. Let me share something else with you. Not only is it possible for you to have your dream, but it's necessary. It's necessary that you have it. Here's what I discovered that happens to you in life, that you will go through things, and while you're going through them, you can't understand why it's happening to you. But after you go through it, you get back and you look at it and you say, oh, now I understand why I needed that lesson. That I couldn't understand it then. But after I got through it, then I saw that that was preparing me for bigger and better things. As you go through the challenges of life, and you look at it and embrace whatever comes to you, don't run from it. Step toward it. Don't try and duck it like most people do. See, most people want it easy. See, easy come, easy what? Easy go.
Tell me one thing in your life that is great that came as a result of being comfortable. Because everywhere I look and everywhere I see in today's society, everybody's doing everything they can to be more comfortable, right? They're looking for the more convenience. They're looking for the quicker. They're looking for the faster. And see, there's opportunity in that for those of you that want to get better. Because I'm going to tell you right now, all the great things in my life, all the great things in other high achievers' lives, all the reasons that these successful people that you look up to, that you aspire to be like, are the way they are, have all come from a place of being uncomfortable.
Now I'm suggesting that it's necessary that you get outside of your comfort zone. It's necessary that you develop some new relationships where you can learn from people. It's necessary that you do reading, that you do research. It's necessary, if you're already involved in some business, that you don't be satisfied with where you are. If you want to make it today, it's necessary for you to constantly look at ways of getting better. Not only is it possible for you to have your dream, and it's necessary for you to challenge yourself to go after it and get better and leverage relationships that can help you get to where you want to go, but it's you. The major key to your reaching your dream, your living up to your greatness, your making your contribution is you.
We know we were made as a masterpiece. We know the Lord looks at us like we can do anything with our lives. You weren't born to be average. You weren't born to have a mediocre existence on this earth. You were born to do something great, and that's why you're in this room. It's by no mistake that you've always had those thoughts, that intuition.
If the economy is good, fantastic. If the banks are loaning money, that's great. If people are positive, that's great. You don't have any opposition, that's great. But the major key to your making things happen in your life is you.
Get off of Instagram and Snap and get off all these blogs and get into something that can really, really move your life forward.